Black Widow 2021, written by Eric Pearson, starring Scarlett Johansson, Florence Pugh, and David Harbour. Natasha Romanoff confronts the darker parts of her ledger when a dangerous conspiracy with ties to her past arises. The female-led Marvel movie we've all been waiting for.
Yeah, I blame you for me being excited for this movie because I should have known it wouldn't be good because I was thinking, oh, Black Widow, she's like a superhero, but she doesn't have any powers. So this is going to be like Marvel's take on Batman or something. But
right.
No, we didn't. It wasn't a superhero movie. I mean, they did have a couple characters that had superpowers, but they were not important to the story. This was a spy movie made by Lifetime.
Yep. Oh boy. Yeah, we do get a bit of Scarlett Johansson's past, but the entire movie is about the Red Room, where they take all these girls, cut out their they give them what do you call it? Hysterectomy.
All the lady bits. Yeah.
Yeah, and sew them back up and turn them into fighting.
But why did they do that? Like, does having a period remove the brainwashing or what? Like,
I think
that's a hell of a surgery just to make disposable soldiers.
I think they do it so that none of them can get pregnant and be stuck with that shit. So, I mean, you just have I don't know. This is not someone who's worried about like. I don't think their main villain is really, really pro-life. So I don't know why he would be opposed to just, having an abortion every time they got pregnant. Yeah. Do you think he just has like a little setup in his shop with a vacuum cleaner and a coat hanger?
I mean, he's got some sort of setup in his shop. Like this guy is. I mean, we're kind of jumped to the end here, but this is not like a movie full of twists and interesting plot points, so it doesn't matter how you go through it. But like every single like super soldier or hypno girl he gets is an absolute model. So I mean, is he just killing all the fuglies? Like, what's going on here?
Yeah, because how do you know when they're little children? Oh, maybe when they start growing up, he'll just murder them or have them murder themselves, I guess. Because that one chick that breaks her leg in pursuit of Natasha, he just has her murder herself with like a flashbang grenade or some bullshit. I don't even know. They cut away from it, even though it wasn't like she didn't like blow her brains out with a gun. It was like an electricity charge or something, and they still cut away. It's like, is that PG-13? Like, does that make it rated R if somebody kills himself on camera? Like, even if it's like super, it's not gruesome or anything like that. I guess maybe it does.
All the stuff in the Red Room really didn't make sense to me. Like, they've got that secret, town up in the sky that no one can notice. I mean, I'm sorry, amateur astrologists would notice that thing, much less the U.S. military.
Right.
I mean, unless it's just like permanently in a sulfur cloud coming off a volcano. It's just, there's no way something that size in the sky without being spotted.
Yeah, it's not like the helicarrier from the first Avengers where it's like a floating like carrier ship. It's a floating city in the sky. So how nobody's ever come across it, and it's not like there's like some sort of invisibility cloak on it similar to the helicarrier. It was just there behind the clouds.
I'm not really sure how to cover all the stuff in this because the movie I liked the action in the movies. In the movie, it was well done. It was as well done as most Marvel movies are.
Yeah.
But it didn't really feel like a Marvel movie. It didn't have the comedy. They tried to do a bunch of heartstring pulling, but I felt like they didn't really set up the characters enough to really make you care about them. Like, the tragic character is obviously the sister.
Yes, her younger sister. Like,
they should have either stuck to a story for Natasha, or they should have made the sister like a good 1/3 to 1/2 of the movie. But she shares a lot of screen time with like the comedy relief guy who I spent
Yes.
the whole movie expecting him to do something. He never did a fucking thing.
No.
Like the amount of time they spent watching that, we spent watching that guy try to put on a suit.
Yeah.
Like,
So he's essentially Russian Captain America, and in the beginning they're in Ohio doing some sort of spy shit. So they need all these fake like family members, and the sister thinks it's real, but Natasha knows it's not because she's been through it before. So to further your point about tugging at the heartstrings, so they spend a lot of time with Florence Pugh's character, the younger sister, trying to build an emotional response, but we've spent the whole movie with Natasha. That's the problem
yeah,
there.
yeah,
So you either have to, what they could have done was make Natasha the younger sister, had the exact same story, and you know, then maybe it would have hit a little harder.
yeah. That would have been. I mean, they could have just straight up removed one of the parents because the parents do so little.
The mom, definitely
Yeah,
the
but
mom.
you have what?
Definitely remove the mom. She was useless. She did have a mask of her adult daughter that she's never seen though, so that was
Well, I think the
interesting.
mask is just like is just a thing you put on, and then it like makes the mask happen. She didn't. It's not like a Mission Impossible mask where the mask was one
Oh,
thing. This is like a mask that you take a picture, and then you put it on your face.
oh, I totally thought it was Mission Impossible style.
No, because like when like he pushed the button to turn it off, which I don't know why she let him do that. Like she should have like tried to stab him then.
Yeah.
But the pheromones.
Yeah, pheromones in the nostrils.
I mean, that was like some Get Smart level spycraft going on at the end of the movie.
Yeah. The
I have some pheromone spray, so you can't stab me.
Let me ask you a question. How well do you remember Avengers 1?
That was the one before Infinity Wars. Not very well.
Okay. So, in the beginning when we first meet Natasha Romanoff, aka Black Widow, she's tied up, she's talking to a Russian guy, and it seems as though she's in danger, and they're going to torture her and all this stuff. Phil Coulson calls her, and calls the Russian like mob boss's cell phone, has him give it to Natasha. She's like, "Oh, come on, I'm working here. I was getting this dude to tell me everything." The guy's like, "What? I don't tell you everything, whatever." That's the Natasha Romanoff I wanted. Not when this like cornball ass British guy comes by who gives her like stuff for no reason, and she's giving this man lovey eyes. She's
Yeah,
supposed to be the dude that's she's supposed to be the person who's manipulating everyone, not like puppy dog eyes with some random jabroni. It's I don't know. That was kind of my issue with this whole movie. It was very CW, just cornball.
yep, I can see that.
I don't remember the dickhead's name, or else I'd look it up. But I
Probably like,
mean, he was
like
great.
Nigel or someone.
Nigel, yeah. Was it Lorato?
I don't remember.
But another thing that I really didn't like about this movie. Now, I'm very familiar with Blackwood in the comic books. I read comic books for a very long time, and even the ones before I was born. That kind of shit. But I didn't like this movie calling all of the women who were tortured by this guy and manipulated and all that stuff. I didn't like them calling them widows,
Mm-hmm.
because it just makes Natasha's character feel cheap. Because now she's not Black Widow, she's a widow.
Yeah, it'd be like if it'd be like if the first Star Wars episode had like a really badass character called the Stormtrooper.
Yeah,
and then
exactly.
and then later there's like 60 million of them.
Yeah. And I know this is a stupid joke, but when the actual black lady came by, I was like, "Oh, there's a Black Widow." So,
Natasha, you are renamed to the Pasty White Widow.
yes, she could be the Red Widow, but
Nope,
whatever.
they'll find a ginger for that.
Oh yeah, true. My biggest problem with this movie was the quote Taskmaster. Terrible, absolutely terrible.
I was
Jeremy,
wondering how you'd feel about that.
oh my God, it was. It ended up being the daughter of the guy she tried to murder. So she
Yeah.
didn't murder anyone back in the day.
No. She made an explosion that destroyed a 5-story building. Because like they really went all in on how big that explosion was, but it burned a little girl a little bit, like a 12-year-old girl, literally wearing a backpack.
Yep.
It just charred her face a little bit. Everything else is fine.
Yeah.
She should have been missing like 3 limbs. She should have had like 3 robot limbs and like a red skull face.
Yep.
Like if they'd had like some big scene where like there's just a spinal cord floating in a tank of healing liquid, I'd be okay. But no, like, oh yeah, you burned her a little bit. Like she's got that thing right there on her lip that you could easily fix.
Who was this for? Like calling this person Taskmaster or giving her the Taskmaster helmet. Who is that for? I mean, you could have had the exact same story with the exact same scenario and just had just made up your own character. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just really stupid. The Taskmaster in the comics and the TV show, and there's actually a really cool Black Widow versus Taskmaster fight in the opening scene of the Avengers game. Way better than this.
Is Taskmaster a woman in the comic books?
No. He usually fights a lot of like street level heroes like Spider-Man, Daredevil, Black Widow. He couldn't really fight Thor. So, it's that kind of thing. He actually appears a lot in the Spider-Man video game for PS4. And each time you fight him, he's harder because he already knows your moves. That's essentially Taskmaster's like the master.
Oh, I remember that. I did not recognize it because I wasn't thinking of a mute chick doesn't really remind me of Taskmaster from the video game.
Right.
So does Taskmaster have like super strength? Because she freaking punches our Red Robin guy and knocks him the fuck out, basically.
I guess this one does. Taskmaster's just a guy in the comics and in the show and everything. He's a very skilled fighter, but he's just a guy. He's not like
the dude
Captain
from the
America.
hockey stick off of Mutant Teenage Warriors Ninjas.
Oh yeah,
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Yeah, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. We're gonna get shut down for that by the automated copyright system. Yeah, so I mean, I thought Taskmaster was weird because like with the mask on, it kind of looks like I thought it was Star-Lord at first. Oh, Star-Lord got a new mask, but no, it's actually like a chick with like a little something on her face because she was because she was the epicenter of an explosion that leveled a building.
Yes.
Marvel movies. I'm just gonna talk about Marvel movies in general. I'm starting to care less because nothing fucking matters. Oh, this guy died. Oh, did he? Because the preview in this movie was for this guy in another movie. So I feel like he's not dead.
100%.
And it's just no one, you can't even make up a character and then kill it. They literally have to save every single life. I swear to God, they have a hamburger. The cow comes back to life 20 minutes later.
Yeah. Oh, actually, it was an Impossible Whopper.
Yeah, it was.
Jesus. Yeah, seriously. And in this one, they set it up so that Taskmaster
Taskmaster.
Actually, let's just call it Taskmaster from now on. She's sitting there with like a plug into the back of the helmet.
Oh, and this is not demeaning to him, by the way. The movie did that for us.
Yes. Instead of like Taskmaster fighting and learning styles and everything, he just turns into this like robot program thing where they're just having her sit there and watch people fight and like download it into her helmet. It's a really cool concept for a character though. Taskmaster. It's actually a really cool character, but they
Yeah, I mean,
don't know
having a
what they're
character
doing.
survive an explosion and come back as like a weird robot, person is fine. But like, why the mask? Why have it named Taskmaster? Like, why have it be completely mute if it's? I mean, because obviously the person like Taskmaster is able to like, think ahead and like, cut people off at the pass. It's not like, a rabid dog. Like this is, off screen it's a person and then on screen it's a zombie basically.
Yeah.
I'm gonna smack the glass. Roar! I mean, literally. I mean, that scene where like she's in the cell, like trying to punch the glass, literally dumber than a gorilla. But
Yep.
then, like, she can drive and like be all sneaky off screen. So let's go to the beginning of the movie.
Sure.
The whole thing starts, and I should have known this was what was gonna be. It was gonna be like the dad comes in home for dinner, right at dinner time. Even though this is like a very special day where they have to GTFO. They're literally like this guy like stops and gets a beer out of the fridge and looks at her eyes and checks to see if the thermometer is not too high.
Yep.
Or set too low in the summer. But while this is going on, he knows that like 15 counties of SWAT teams are suiting up. It's like such a dumb scene when you think about it for just a second. Which is which Marvel movies, if you want us to not think, you gotta have more consistent explosions. If you stop and have a 12-minute this vest has pockets scene, if you're gonna stop and do that, I'm gonna think for a minute because I'm not into pockets as much as you are. Like, I mean, I'm not impressed by pockets. I have cargo shorts. I have many cargo shorts. You can wear them to the clubs around where I live. Fuck you. I don't have to wear skinny pants because they're not popular around here. So you can't be like, oh, pockets. I know where this was filmed. It was like, pockets? What's a pocket? No one knows what pockets are because everything has to be in your butt crack.
It was filmed where the men wear skinny jeans and carry purses. So
all the cargo space is like inside your giant boots.
Yeah.
And then
every day when you leave the house, it's like smuggling cocaine across the border.
That's just your nuts. Yeah, so they're really into pockets. Like, in an age where everyone over 30 wears cargo shorts, they're really into pockets. In movies in general, what's with everyone's clothing as a backstory now? Like that's weird, right?
Yes.
Are there people going like, oh, where do you get the jacket?
Absolutely.
Literally, the Marvel movies and also Pirates of the Caribbean, which we'll be covering soon, it's literally every sequel is just, what are those?
Oh, I love it. I love clothing discussions when we came to see a movie about Russian spies.
The Russian spies, they are very good at making pockets, yes? Look at how they stitch the Velcro over the zipper.
Stupid American.
Time in 10
Oh, God.
Also, I think my Russian accent is as good as any of theirs.
Yes. Sometimes they roll the R's and other times they bail on it, so I'm not sure which we're supposed to go with.
We should have invited like a Russian podcaster just to fetch about all the accents. What part of Russia are they from?
Well, in this scene, she's from Moscow. In this scene, she's from same person.
Russia is literally a continent, so you can have different accents, but not in one person. Let's talk about one of the best scenes in the movie when she unknowingly has the mind control system because she just carries shit around apparently. She gets yeeted over the bridge. No, she gets hit with a rocket that just flips her car multiple times. Instant death. Gets thrown off a bridge. Instant death. That was not a fall lightly distance for, being in a car. I mean, it's like when a car hits water at velocity, it's stopping. It's a lot of surface area. Like you can jump into water and you'll kind of like cut through it because like there's diving techniques in that. But I don't think there's a diving technique for, landing a car in the water.
Right.
But anyway, she's Wolverine and
well, yeah,
but like I thought it was a really cool Taskmaster. I was excited for this, I was excited to see how they were going to get Chris Pratt in this thing. Mm-hmm. And it turned out all this buildup was for a character that doesn't even like say fuck you.
Yeah, and it seems like it's just a revenge plot by the dad because I guess he's programming her as well. I don't really know, to be honest.
I mean, his whole thing is to just abuse women because their main focus is like hand-to-hand combat. They should have hypnotized some dudes. I don't know, like,
Yeah.
if it turns out that only women can be brainwashed, this movie's really sexist. Women, right?
Yeah.
Make them wear a hair while they do anything you tell them to.
Yeah.
Women, they don't have free will. They're not really people like you and me. This movie was written by, remember the Rugrats where they had like the Women Haters Club?
Yeah.
This is basically them just like with like leather pants. What are women like? Pockets, hair salons, and being told what to do.
Love it.
How did he keep the mother like in the thing the whole time? She spent her whole life like just driving pigs around like an RC car. I don't know why. Like they already had fully functioning they already had their fully functioning like female model thing. Like they basically had their Zoolander plot going on in the sky. No hiccups. They're all doing kung fu in like a weird metal room. But she's just driving pigs around on a farm. Why? What the fuck is she doing there? Why is she allowed to have like all the face mask and stuff? Are they keeping an eye on her or not? Like it seemed like she was under his thumb, but then she just goes and does whatever she wants, and there's no issues with that.
Aside from Natasha Romanoff and her sister, there are 23 women credited with being a widow in this movie.
I don't mind like the whole mind control soldier plot. And like, if you want to make the dude extra creepy, then just point out that he's only hypnotizing women because he's a fucking creep. Like,
right.
Like, even if you say it's only girls that can be hypnotized, there's no fatties in there, are there? I mean, everyone's got their eyebrows did. Like this guy, I know why he had the hysterectomy.
Yeah.
Hysterectomy's done.
Yeah, he's a dirty bastard.
This guy. This is not this is a character that you're glad to see die. Like,
yes,
I would have appreciated a more satisfying death because they just had another off-screen explosion. I don't even believe he's dead.
Right.
like I want to okay, so this character needed to have having his head cut off with a hacksaw. That would have been good. Just like
yeah,
it's like that would have been a good death.
Yeah, like if they set him up in some sort of inescapable Jigsaw style trap.
Yeah.
And then we watched. I mean, even if they wanted to hyperlink it to Saw 12 or whatever,
yeah,
we needed to watch that.
Or maybe don't blow up the airport thing. Maybe just have all of them doing kung fu in the room. The gas gets released. They're like, oh hell no! And then they go, and then he spends the entire thing with him and his soldiers, being hunted by the Black Widows. It turns into an alien movie. Like the last 45 minutes, just an alien movie with all the Black Widows just coming out of the vents and fucking people up. That would have been good, right?
Yeah. What about the Asian widows, though? Oh God.
Oh, that's right. Only the white chick is Black Widow. All the other ones just widows. This is. We are all Black Widow on this blessed day.
Yes.
So, I mean, there's a lot to this movie that could have been good. Brainwash, super soldiers, classic, giant helicopter thing. Could have been big, dumb fun. They barely did it. They had that rescue scene with Red Robin dude. They had a gun that can't take down a helicopter for whatever reason. Is he super strong or not? Sometimes he gets stuck getting past two guys, and sometimes he just kicks open a prison door.
Yeah.
Either have him be super or have him be comic relief. But either way, cut his screen time down unless he's going to do something.
Speaking of cutting screen time down, the screen time in this whole goddamn movie could have been cut down at least 30 minutes. It was 2 hours and 15 minutes. Why do we have to do over 2 hours for every single Marvel movie now? This didn't need it. Just trim
their whole
shit.
thing is just jamming random characters in there.
Yeah.
You can't make me care about 6 characters in one movie.
Right.
This movie would have been a good sequel to the actual Black Widow movie we needed to see first. And then, like, maybe at the end of the movie, they could have hinted that the sister is being mind controlled.
Oh, yeah.
Like, they could have had an actual Black Widow movie pre-Avengers 1, right?
Yep.
Where she's going around doing stuff like, because she's a good guy at the beginning of Avengers. Like, we don't see her as like a bad person at all in any Marvel movie, right?
Yeah.
So she could have just been like a selfish mercenary, and then like she gets a heart of gold. That could have been like the first half of a movie, and the second half is her doing some really cool thing, and like the person she has to deal with is her sister. That could have been perfect. And then she's like, and then like they could have hinted at the mind control at the end of the first movie. Boom, second movie set up, and then we actually enjoy the pocket scene. But no, they just throw everything on the scene in like 8 minutes. It's just everyone gets like 45 seconds of time to be either sad or funny on screen, and boom, off to the races of nonstop plot points.
It seems like something that would have been perfect between Avengers 1 and Avengers 2, because we didn't really know her yet. We met her in Iron Man 2, and they still needed like the original big three to set up all of this stuff. So after Avengers 1, I believe that's when they added Guardians of the Galaxy, like that's the time we could have had all this stuff. And that sounds like the perfect movie. The entire thing, the sister was upset because of because she didn't know about all this stuff, and then she becomes perfect. Because then you can have it so PG-13, because she's not going to kill the sister, no matter how much the sister's trying to murder her. Because the comedy was a bit funny at first. I would say the first few times they hit on something. One of the running jokes was the sister saying, "Oh, that's a shitty way to die," or "this would be a good way to die," and that kind of thing. It was kind of funny at first, and then it just really wore down after a while. The ending was the cheesiest shit.
The only movie that really ground on me was The Existence of the Father. I don't know. I don't understand where his change of heart came from, because he started off like being really mad they made him play a dad, and then he's like, "My girls," and there's no in between.
He's like, "Oh,
I don't know.
These girls are hot now."
Yeah,
gotta get on the inside.
Are they actually his daughters?
No.
Yeah. So I mean,
Black Widow and her sister aren't even related. No, none of those four people in the beginning have any blood relation whatsoever.
Yeah. So I mean, what we know about his character, he definitely would have like tried to get handsy.
Oh, absolutely. That's why he wanted back in, because he'd been in prison so long. He didn't care.
I have a lot of energy.
Yeah. Oh, look at your tight bodysuit. Which is one of my favorite parts of the movie.
Let me show you how to ride bicycle.
The sister was far more entertaining than I expected. I was so ready for her to be just this insufferable bitch. But no, she was kind of charming. Got a bit annoying. The accent was a bit wonky at times, but she was honestly pretty charming. So I did enjoy that.
I mean, yeah, my only complaint about the sister is that they went right in on like, okay, this is the part where you cry.
Yep.
Yeah, her name is something Alexi, and okay, cry now. Go, cry. Yeah. Do it, cry. It's like, can you give me like half a movie? Just give me half a movie before the violin softly fades in.
You got fucking Disney Plus. You could have had a 30-minute like little thing going just about her, but nah.
You know how TV shows have like an applause light?
Yeah.
They need to have a light for like, this character is the one you care about now.
Yeah.
My issue with the movie is it's not just like overall bad, where it's just like, oh, I'll just turn off my brain and enjoy like the leggings fighting. It was really close to being a good sequel, but it's a terrible first movie. Because the only two characters I don't like, I've bitched about, in mass quantity. If you don't know about them by now, you're not listening. Everyone else just needed to be pulled in, better. They needed to pull Black Widow, and I was expecting an origin move. they literally start off with her as a little kid. It is an origin movie.
Yeah,
They
right.
just skipped all the origin movie stuff. Like, oh, you know what people really hate? Origin movies. No, we fucking love them. Give
Yeah.
us one. Listen, Marvel, this is a good first draft. Let's go back. Let's actually do the project as written. You know, you have to stay on topic. So remember, the screen says Black Widow.
Yeah.
Black Widow. So we need the character Black Widow movie, not Black Widow and her sister.
Yeah. The director
imagine if Deadpool had been mostly about like that guy had been almost entirely about like a little kid at the first one. The entire first Deadpool movie had been about a little kid.
Not just
that would have been
about
really
a guy with a
annoying.
baby hand.
What?
Not just about a guy with a baby hand.
Just think about the Deadpool movie if the second one had come first. That would have been bullshit, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. That's what they did. I mean, I don't mind a bad movie. I'll watch them. Sometimes I'll enjoy them. Sometimes I just enjoy making fun of them. But when a movie has all the aspects needed to make a good movie, when they spent the money to make a good movie and they don't, that really bothers me. Like, what? Why?
Right.
It's like watching someone spend like hundreds of thousands making a really ugly house.
This movie cost $200 million to make, and so far has made $132 million at the worldwide box office.
How long has it been out?
July 9th, so 9 days. And that excludes Disney Plus purchases, right? Which is insanity. I don't know how people pay for Disney Plus, because you have to pay the monthly subscription, and you still have to pay, I think it's $30 to rent the movie.
I mean, think about taking like 2 adults and 2 kids to the movie. That's way more than $30.
But
it's
nuts.
Yeah, for 1 or 2 people, it's nuts. But if you're doing it for anything more than that, then it works out. So they're kind of stuck with. That's the issue with putting movies online. One, it gets pirated immediately.
Yeah.
Because you're literally streaming it to something that they can do a screen capture on and get it in 4K. Yeah, so Black Widow did 80 million its first weekend, which is the Quiet Place. I'm pretty sure it blew Quiet Place out of the water.
Oh yeah.
Got beat by Space Jam 2 though.
Space Jam 2, 31 million this weekend. Oh, here it is. Disney has reported, now take that for what you will, that Black Widow generated more than $60 million in Disney Plus Premier Access. So since July 9th, they've made $60 million allegedly through their app, and that excludes all of the purchases for $9 a month or whatever it is, and it made $132 million. So it's nearly already made its money back. So $192 million combined between the two, excluding the purchases. I just find it crazy that they make you pay $30 even though you're already paying the goddamn monthly fee. It's just crazy. But that's Disney for you.
Yeah. You can't include like feature release movie theater movies in the subscription though. Because $9 a month. That's cheaper than like those all you can watch passes at like the theaters.
So if you got it for Black Widow, you're paying what, $40 to watch it?
No one's getting it for Black Widow.
Nah, well, I hope not.
Yeah. Let's see. The Sister's Brave Sacrifice. I'm sure we'll see her in the next movie.
Yep.
Yeah, that's right. Because she does. She stands next to an engine that explodes, and she's totally fine. Yeah, just more of nothing mattering. Like there's no consequences in these movies. Everyone comes back tomorrow.
Yep.
All the bad guys die off screen. All the good guys live on screen. So we'll see the bad guys again. What?
Yeah, I can't wait till Black Widow 2 when it's not just the sister, it's just all of the widows, and nobody cares about any of them. So that'd be fun. I don't know.
Yeah,
It just
pheromones.
makes you feel cheap.
That's my last note. Pheromones.
Pheromones. That was a cool scene where Black Widow confronts the guy that's doing all this stuff, and
But she can start to stab him, but she can't finish it. So that means she could, like, drop a grenade.
yes,
She couldn't throw it at him, but she could, like, prime a grenade and just stand there next to him.
yes, but fire in this world, it would only like give
Yeah.
him like a tiny burn on his big toe.
I mean, it probably just, like, hurt his daughter in the next room a little bit.
Yeah. Yep. Do you think
In a world
no,
where explosions don't kill anybody.
exactly? Oh, terrible. But she does this thing where so the pheromones are blocking her from being able to kill this guy. So she's taunting him to like punch her in the face. And she's like, "Oh, you're a weak bitch, so you didn't do the job." And she slams her face on the desk to break her own nose, which I thought was pretty cool. Do you want to get to rating this sucker?
6 out of 10.
I'm gonna give it a 5.5 out of 10. There was nothing inherently offensive about this movie with the exception of Taskmaster. It was really bad. The Trash Master, like, nearly ruined the movie for me. But I mean, I wasn't really enjoying it to begin with. The ending was so cheeseball that it might as well have been a Lifetime show. Whatever. This is one of the only last couple Marvel movies I'm actually going to be seeing. These ones coming up do not excite me in the slightest. Doctor Strange is the only other one. Sorry, and Guardians 3. Go ahead.
What's the Marvel movie that doesn't excite you that's coming out?
The next Spider-Man, Shang-Chi and the Masters of the what universe? What is it? Shang-Chi and the
I love Tom Holland Spider-Man though.
Oh God. He's
the first Spider-Man in 2 generations that actually would not get arrested for being at a high school.
Yeah. Well, maybe that's why he's my least favorite Spider-Man. I don't know.
Aunt May in that Spider-Man looks like the students from Spider-Man 1.
Yeah, right.
Is that Mary Jane? No, it's Aunt May.
The 2 villains in the first 2 Spider-Man movies were awesome, and the characters. I'm not a fan of Tom Holland. I think he sucks. He's in everything. I don't think he's very good at anything. I think he's the worst of the 3 Spider-Mans. It's not the worst movies. The Andrew Garfield movies are the worst movies.
See, my only complaint about the current generation of Spider-Man is that it's basically Iron Man with webs.
Yeah. Except a little shit, a little bitch. I love Jake Gyllenhaal and I loved Michael Keaton. Awesome villains, but I don't know. It's just boring. Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings. What did I call it? The Masters of the Universe. Apparently, Marvel's going to be doing another Fantastic Four. Captain Marvel 2. Oh yeah, I'll be seeing that one. Black Panther 2. This is I haven't done an official list, but I'm trying to think of where I'd fit this. This is just a bit better than Guardians 2. I would call it the 4th worst MCU movie. That's all I got. About a 5.5 out of 10 I'd give it. Let's check and see what IMDb gives this movie. 105,000 even? No way. 105,000 reviews on IMDb. Sorry, ratings for a 6.9 giggity out of 10. That's high. That's high. I don't know if there's a bunch of people just going. They could be doing the Captain Marvel thing where they're just going through and typing the same review over and over to offset the trolls.
Wait, Captain Marvel had like fake reviews?
Yes, on Rotten Tomatoes.
Oh yeah, but not on IMDb.
Oh, I don't think so. I never looked into that, but yeah, it was the same one, copy and pasted. This one guy on YouTube goes through them all hundreds of times, maybe even thousands. He'd go through them all, but I don't remember what his name was. I'll have to find the video. But let's see what Captain Marvel has. I'm not gonna beat that dead horse, even though it deserves it. 6.8. Okay. But I'm glad Scarlett Johansson got her own solo movie, even though she wasn't really solo. Florence Pugh's pretty good, way better than I thought she was going to be. So kudos to them for that. But I don't know. It's just I don't think I'll ever watch this movie again, to be honest. What about you?
I don't know.
Yeah. On a cold, dark, lonely day, maybe you can watch it. It had some interesting parts, and this is the last time I'll say this today, but because I know I'm gonna say it again, I'm gonna go back and re-rate. Maybe we need like a website with our ratings on it or something, because I gave fucking Bird Box a 6, and this movie was 10 times better than Bird Box. That movie sucked ass, and for some reason I remember giving it a 6, and it's just like that's a 3. That movie sucked. But
I love Bird Box.
Did you?
Yeah.
Oh,
I gave
yeah,
it a 6. I think I gave it higher than a 6. I'm not sure.
I'm pretty sure you did. Yeah. I remember saying in our Quiet Place review, I was like, man, this is a much better version of Bird Box. And you're like, no, Bird Box is better. Like,
yeah.
No. Start talking. Do you think we'll get a Black Widow 2 with Florence Pugh, by the way? Or do you think she'll just be in Avengers or whatever team ups they have now?
Pretty much every major Marvel character gets a second. So I'm doing air quotes solo movie.
Mm-hmm.
So she'll probably get one of those like pre-Avenger movies.
Sure.
Like Black Widow and punching Tony Stark in the face too.
Maybe they'll put her in with Captain Marvel.
Oh God.
I think if we get a Black Widow 2, it's going to be her, the mother, a couple of the other widows. The dad's going to be in it. I'm pretty sure that's where we're going with it.